Hey guys, it's me, Freddy Pop Collector, and welcome to episode 4 of Fixing Five Nights at Freddy's. For those of you who don't know, this is a 10-part series going through each of the FNAF games and explaining what I would change about them. Each game will have their own episode, and this is episode 4 covering Five Nights at Freddy's 4. As always, keep in mind, I'm not implying that any of the FNAF games are broken or bad in any way, it's just stuff that I would change looking back on the franchise to make the games and lore feel more interconnected and more intertwined. The points I'll bring up will be divided into 3 categories: lore, gameplay, and other. So with the introduction out of the way, let's get into episode 4 of Fixing Five Nights at Freddy's. FNAF 4 is a pretty interesting one because this is the first major gameplay change in the series. Of course, the core gameplay elements are still here. We still have Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, Foxy chasing us in a room where we have to defend ourselves until 6 AM. But of course, the biggest changes in this game is the ability to move around and also having to listen for the animatronics instead of just looking on a camera system. These changes were definitely necessary because if Scott made another game with pizzerias and cameras, it probably would start to irritate people and it would definitely start to get stale. With that being said though, the biggest problem I have with FNAF 4's gameplay in particular is it's very repetitive. You check the left door, you check the right door, you check the closet, you check the bed, you check the left door, you check the right door, you check the closet, you check the bed, over and over and over and over until it's 6 AM. In other games like FNAF 2 and 3, you had more to do than just defend yourself from the animatronics. You had to fix stuff on maintenance pads, block vents, wind up music boxes, stuff like that. In this game though, it seems to take a step back from the complex mechanics and seems to go with more of a FNAF 1 route with just doors and animatronics. The first gameplay change I would add to make the gameplay feel a little bit less repetitive is an ability to hide under the bed. I had a great idea about this mechanic. Plush Trap is very underutilized in this game, so maybe at certain times in the night when you go to the door and you hear Plush Trap's footsteps, you have to go hide under the bed. He'll walk in trying to find you and walk out. But if I'm being honest, that's pretty much all I have for the major gameplay changes. Of course, as always, there's a few smaller gameplay changes, like when you walk up to a door, you shouldn't just face the ground. Also, I think the breathing at the door should be a little bit more precise. But besides that, that's pretty much all I've got. FNAF 4 really didn't give me a lot to work with, so I really didn't want to change too much. Tell me some of your ideas in the comments. I'm really curious to see what you guys would change as far as gameplay goes because I really couldn't come up with much. So now let's move on to probably the longest section of this video, the lore section. Okay, I have a lot to say about FNAF 4's lore. Let's get the obvious out of the way first, the box. If you didn't know, the box was planned to be open in the FNAF 4 Halloween DLC and an update to a FNAF World. Obviously, it wasn't opened in either, so I think the box should either be opened or just removed from the game entirely. Next up is probably the most important, addressing whether this is real or a nightmare. Us fans really can't be sure because there's evidence to support both sides. On the side that is a dream, we get pill bottles, flowers, IV Easter eggs beside the bed. We also hear the hospital flatline when the crying child dies in the very last cutscene of the game. This implies that all the nights with the nightmare animatronics were just a dream. However, we have evidence also to support that FNAF 4 wasn't a nightmare. Obviously, we have the ties to sister location, FNAF VR, Ultimate Custom Night. Also, there's the sound illusion disc theory, obviously supported by FNAF VR when the Funtime animatronics are inside the FNAF 4 house instead of the nightmare animatronic, which implies that FNAF 4 wasn't a nightmare. Speaking of a nightmare, we need an explanation on who Nightmare is. The most popular theory is that he's the embodiment of death, which is pretty dark and probably what he's supposed to represent, but there's just not enough evidence to support that. This character, in my opinion, is definitely the most mysterious character in the franchise. Why does he have yellow accents? Why is he transparent? Why is he just Nightmare and not any other add-on like Nightmare Shadow Freddy? We also have the mystery of the Freddles. Why are they here? What are they supposed to represent? Why did Scott include them? Why do the Nightmare animatronics breathe when they're at the door? They're not alive, they're robots. That's very weird and still hasn't been explained, surprisingly. And the final lore fix that needs some sort of clarification, is Michael Afton the little crying child or the older brother? Whoa, hold on. I see you there typing that comment. Before you finish your comment saying that Game Theory confirmed this, game theories are not fact, okay? They're called theories for a reason. Right now, MatPat is claiming that Michael Afton is the older brother. While there is evidence to support that, there's also evidence to support that he's the crying child. It is not confirmed either way. It works both ways. Please don't comment that. I watch every single game theory video. They're really good, really well made. I love them so much, but people are treating them like they're facts. They're not officially canon. Just thought I'd clear that up. I'm sorry, that sounded really mean. No offense to MatPat, I love his videos, like I said. Probably the best FNAF YouTuber out there. He puts so much time into his videos, but they are not confirmed fact. So, yeah, it's kind of awkward now. I gotta end this. Okay, back to the video. These are the major lore fixes that need either some sort of clarification or definitely need to be addressed in some sort of Fazbear Fright story. So that about wraps up the lore section. Let's move on to the other section. I've always found odd is that FNAF 4 doesn't have a custom night. Similar to how Sister Location's custom night was DLC, I think the same thing should happen with FNAF 4. After unlocking the Halloween DLC, you can grant access to the custom night with every single nightmare animatronic from Nightmare Freddy to Jacko Chica to Nightmare Rion and every character in between. Also, just like Sister Location, I think after beating Golden Freddy mode, all characters on 20, you should get a tease of FNAF Sister Location, just like how Sister Location teased FNAF 6. This may sound odd for me to bring up, but FNAF 4's ambience music is really lacking compared to the other games. There's only like 2 ambience tracks and they're very quiet, so I think they really need changed. But besides that, the final note I have on this other section is that Nightmare Chica probably shouldn't have 3 rows of teeth since an ultimate custom night and FNAF VR would be removed. And with that all being said, that's gonna wrap out fixing Five Nights at Freddy's 4. Thank you all so much for watching this video. As soon as this gets published, I need to immediately get started on fixing FNAF Sister Location because I want to release that on its anniversary, October 7th. I'm also going to be starting a project soon that I want to have out by the end of the year. That being my very own Five Nights at Freddy's timeline. I've been doing a lot of research and I've written the full timeline down. I just need to record the video. It's probably going to be at least 40 to 50 minutes long. So with that all being said, that's all I have for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me in the comments what other gameplay ideas you guys had. Like I said earlier in the video, I really couldn't come up with much, so I'd really want to hear what you guys have to say. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.